Hello there, guys. How's everyone doing? Well, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there all over the world, especially the black fathers out there, because we are in the time of Black Lives Matter, Black Fathers Matter, and we need more of them in the home. Anyway, found this butterfly. I know who gave it to me. Thank you so much. I had your letter and I couldn't find it to thank you personally. But I found this butterfly and I thought I'd put it on. It's not really a clothing butterfly, but I thought it was cute. Butterflies represent a new beginning. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there, and all the single mothers out there. Happy Father's Day. Well, I don't have much on as far as clues are concerned. It's just that you guys know every year I am the MC of an Honor Thy Fathers awards dinner where I volunteer and we celebrate fathers and their families, say, my dad's a great dad, and it's just a wonderful, loving, heartwarming experience. So since you can't have big crowds in California, we did it on Zoom. And it turned out really well. And I'm so glad that Denise Estelle of Estelle for Humanity, my girl, that she was able to put it together. Even though we couldn't do it in person, we did it on Zoom and it worked well. And it was the first time I ever did a Zoom. So happy Father's Day to all of you guys out there. And so since I was all dolled up, I was like, let me say hi. Everyone on live. I'm not sure I'm going to put this on YouTube because all my videos aren't for the YouTube audience. Sometimes it's just for my Facebook audience. But something did happen that I did find quite suspicious. Let's see what this means. It may mean nothing, but me knowing the pattern of how Michael works, it's usually a few breadcrumbs to lead you somewhere, and then something happens. Or something happens to remind me not to mention something, or to mention something, not to mention something, to mention something. And on my Amazon page, let's see if it's still that way. My Amazon page for the Alive Trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries used to have as its companion, like to buy this and buy that, right? It used to have the Jackson 5 cartoon with the Rare Pearl. You guys know the Rare Pearl story. So I got another level, another missing piece to add to the Rare Pearl's story that's going to be in Alive 4. And it's coming up. And so let's see what comes up. Maybe it's nothing, or maybe it's something. Let's see. If it's something, I'm going to tell you guys. If it's nothing, I'm just going to say. But anyway, it usually has a companion DVD that comes up and says, when you buy this too, right? And so far, nothing's coming up. Oh no. Let's see. It's not going to do it this time. Oh, but I saved it. I did save it. So let's see if I am smart enough to pull it up and tell you guys what it was, because right now it doesn't have a companion on it. My Amazon page doesn't. Let's see if I saved this. Yeah, here it is. I did save it. So before, on my Amazon page for the Alive Trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries for the DVD, it would have the companion, which would be the Jackson 5 cartoon series, because I do Michael Jackson stuff and, just kind of like so close, right? So now, last night, 2 days ago, I think I went on and they changed it, right? So I'm going to show it to you guys. Okay, I'm going to show you. I have nothing to do with certain things that Amazon does, right? So I have nothing to do with Amazon teaming me up with Teen Wolf. What the heck? They're teaming me up with Teen Wolf. So how did Amazon team me up with Teen Wolf, right? So all I can think of is Michael and werewolves, right? And werewolves are the living dead, right? And with werewolves being the living dead, did you guys know, it's in Alive 4 coming up, that Michael was going to do a movie, and I'm not going to tell you the name of it, but it has something to do with Teen Wolf, right? And it is in Alive 4. And so Michael had an obsession with werewolves, with ghosts, with walking living skeletons, with mummies, with zombies, you know, and all those are representations of living dead things, right? Things that are supposed to be dead but are really living. So Michael, throughout the decades, has been leaving a lot of symbolisms about the living dead or life after death or certain things. So I have some really super, super, super good things that are in Alive, Alive for Michael Jackson, The Missing Pieces. I wanted to show you guys. I'm back at 5 stars. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. And so Alive 4 first, then we'll talk about Alive 5. Alive 4, we're almost done. Oh my God. It's the 21st. We only got 4 more days. 4 more days, right? 4 more days. We're going to release it on Vimeo. And then we have to work on the DVD. And then we have to work on the Amazon, not Prime, Video on Demand for Amazon. The reason why I'm just doing it on Vimeo now, on the 25th, is because if Cecil gets called back to work, I don't know how I'm going to get it on other platforms or how I'm going to do what I do and all that other stuff. So be sure you guys are ready. And people have asked me, am I taking pre-orders? I could take pre-orders, but I'm not sure yet. I'll think about it and then I'll announce it maybe tomorrow or the next day if I'm going to take pre-orders, where you guys can watch it online on Vimeo, because Vimeo is so great because it's worldwide. Do you guys know that fans from over 55 countries have watched my Alive trilogy? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so Alive 4 is almost done. We're polishing it up. Got a couple of issues with the green screen that we're working with. We're trying to make that happen. And then you know, we got to put it on DVD, and then we got to put it on Amazon Video on Demand. Not sure when we're going to be able to, but then after that, if Cecil's still off work, we will start on Alive 5, because everything that I know is not in Alive 4. That is half of the script, half, okay? So then I got to do Alive 5, right? And I got to do it on a dress you guys have never seen, you know, and I think there's a dress that you guys have never seen. I got to look and make sure, because I had the dress for a while, but I just never wore it. At least I don't think I have. But anyway, everything's going good. You know, Cecil and I are just going to be working really hard to get it as best as we can. So you guys be sure to be ready for Alive 4 to be released on the 11th anniversary of the Michael Jackson death hoax. Now, certain people send me stuff as well. I want to reiterate again, I'm not into death hoaxes. I'm not into hoaxes. I'm not into conspiracy theories. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am not. Okay? I am not. I am just someone who was covering Michael Jackson and doing Michael Jackson stuff and had a Michael Jackson website, and you know, just things kept bringing me, keeping me within Michael's world, like Linda, the Maps lady that I knew from the 2005 trial. Oh my God, and I kept in touch with her, and Michael ended up moving to the house in front of her where she sold maps to Stars Homes. So I couldn't leave Michael when Linda was like, "Girl, I think Michael's going to move into this house." And I was like, "Girl, Michael is not moving into that house you're selling maps in front of." She was like, "Yeah, I think he is. I think he is." And I was like, "No way." And sure enough, he moved there. So I would go and I would hang out there. I probably went there maybe 10 to 20 times. And once I even caught him coming out and he waved, and I have him on camera. And so I would visit Linda there, you know, and we would just, hope that he would come out. The day before, I told you guys, the day before the death announcement, I was in front of Carrollwood because the fans were saying, Michael's sick, check on him, can you go check on him? So it was just a 25-minute drive from my house, so I was like, sure. So I went the day before, and that's when I found out a doctor was spending the night. I didn't know who the doctor was. I had no idea, so I thought, if a doctor's spending the night, then hopefully he'll be well taken care of. But no one told me a doctor was spending the night before the day before. And then I saw Conrad Murray's come out in the gray BMW, which was in his sister's name, right? The gray BMW, and it was dark. And I asked Linda, I said, Linda, who is that? She said she didn't know. She sells maps out in front of his house every single day. Right? Now, I don't know what's coming tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen the next day. Right? I have no idea. Right? She said she did not know who that person was in that car. But if that car left every day between 11 and 2, every day, and came back at nighttime, which she may not know because she sold maps during the daylight, she would have said to me, oh, that car comes in and out all the time. She did not say that to me. Right? She didn't say that. Okay, so I didn't know what was going to happen. So the next day, I was going to write to the fans and say, everything's fine. I went to Carrollwood and Michael's fine. A doctor's spending the night. I was getting ready to send out that e-blast, right? Linda calls me before I sent out that e-blast and says, Pearl, an ambulance just went in Michael Jackson's house. I was like, oh my God, panic. I'm telling you, I'm getting ready to send out an e-blast, right? And I'm like, oh my God. I said, well, maybe it's not Michael. Maybe it's a gardener who, cut himself or something. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking it's freaking Michael Jackson, for God's sakes. I'm not thinking that. And then she was calling me. I decided, okay, I'm coming. I'm coming. So I decided to get in the shower, get dressed, and head out. When I was heading out, Shay, who sold maps with Linda, was Linda's partner, was calling me saying, girl, they just came out and they said it doesn't look good and that it was Michael. And then I'm calling Randy Jackson on the phone, leaving messages, calling Joe, leaving messages. They didn't pick up, and I'm like, oh my God, right? And I'm trying to get there. I'm trembling now. So I called Cecil at like 12:40 and I said, send out the tweet, because I had a tweet that I was tweeting something, but I left it on my computer that he can just press send, right? So I told him, I said, go press send on my tweet right now, because I didn't want to alarm the fans unnecessarily. And that's why I have a tweet dated June 25th at 12:43, right? That's before anything happened, okay? And I believe at that time, that's probably what got Ben Evanstadt there. Okay, he was closer than I was, or did he already know to come? And if he already knew to come, who told him to come ahead of time? Ben Evanstadt is a national photo group that photographed Michael all over the place. He's now a lawyer, I heard, and he's the one responsible, yes, Ben, for the fake-ass ambulance photo. That ambulance photo is F-A-K-E. It is fake. It is not real. And I got more information on that too, okay, in a live 4. So a live 4 is going to be picking up. I'm not telling that story in a live 4 about the day before, because I've already told that story. That story's in the e-movie book, much more clearer in the e-movie book, because that's the e-movie book I wrote in between Valentine's Day 2010 to May 21st, 2010. So my mind was fresh, and that's all I knew up until that day was May 21st. You guys know that on my birthday, May 6th and May 5th, Ramon, Michael's manager, of 2010, interviewed me about Michael, and we talked about the death hoax, Ramon Day, and we talked about the death hoax in my book and all that other stuff. So it's, anyway, the missing pieces, Michael Jackson, the missing pieces, is where I told a part, but I have more to add to a clue, more to add to clues. So it's real fun. It's a review. It's with new stuff, and that's why when Denise Purley gave me the suggestion, Michael Jackson, The Missing Pieces, I was like, ding, 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 because that was so much what I wanted to do, because I wanted to add on to some of the information that we already have, just to let you know that the information that is already presented in the Alive trilogy and in the Pseudocide, Did Michael Jackson Fake His Death to Save His Life e-movie book, didn't disappear. It grew. Okay, it grew. It got more strong. It got stronger. Okay, because if Michael Jackson didn't fake his death, we would not be here 11 years later with still information. I would not have a 115-page e-movie book. I would not have thousands of posts. I would not have hundreds of videos. I would not have almost, what? Now it's going to be close to 500 hours jam-packed, moving fast like this, of information proving Michael faked his death. You kidding me? Michael Jackson faked his death. Absolutely zero proves he's dead. And nothing but words. Okay? Words coming out of the mouth. Okay? I revisit the 3 death photos. I revisit them with some more good stuff. I revisit a lot of stuff. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It's going to have some oh my gods in it. It's going to have a whole bunch of great stuff. And, and I don't want to make it seem like the death hoax is me, because it's not. There's lots of us death hoaxers out there. Lots and lots. And my heart has been feeling really heavy. Maybe I will put this on YouTube. I don't know. But my heart has been feeling really heavy for the Black Lives Matter, and because people are talking about things that I wrote in my book, The Climate, about systemic racism, how our condition today is attributable to what happened to us in slavery, how our mother's pain, our mother's pain, mother's pain is still within us. That's why when you see Black women, a lot of times when we're hurt, we are crying these huge crocodile tears. And it's because we're women that haven't ever really had a chance to be women. We were coined the mules of society because we were workhorses. We had to be the mother and the father, even when the father was there, because a Black man being a man was a threat. So a lot of the things that we were talking about, this woman, I think her name is Jane, and I think Peter Michael Bobby, he posted one of her videos, and she was on the red table with Jada Pinkett, and she talks about how really all of us come from a Black woman at one point, because Black people were the first humans, and through the climate and through climatic habitats, she didn't get into the climatic habitats, but she got into the Black woman, is the mother of the human race. And she said, this is a white woman, she said that our education is not an education, it's an indoctrination of white supremacy. So these are a lot of the things that I would talk about in an informative, educating way in my book, The Climate. And also in my book, Black Women Need Love Too, because Black women in this country are the least loved, the least protected, the least provided for, the least married, the least that have a father in the home to help raise their children. We are working harder than other women, and not to say other women don't have the issues that we have, and we're all human beings, so we all will have similar issues, of course, but who has it the most? Why is this ailment so profound in this group? And that's why I wrote the book, Black Women Need Love Too. It was first called How to Tame a Dog. And then I said, Pearl, calm your butt down. Calm your butt down. And what do you really mean? And so I renamed it Black Women Need Love Too, because I really don't want to be mad at anyone, especially in any group of people. And so I changed it to a more positive title. And I think I want to focus more on that, maybe, because, but then I owe you guys the Alive 5. So I'm kind of toying with what I'm going to do, what my future is going to be. But I know for sure I'm going to put out Alive 4 on Vimeo. I know that for sure, because we're almost done with it. Only thing we have to add in is the credits and the fair use, and make sure it's as good as we can get it. That's it. That's it. With that, I love you guys, and the thing about people want to, a lot of people want to compare. Well, this group was treated bad, and that group was treated bad, and that group was treated bad. The difference between other groups and like the Jews were treated bad, of course. I mean, God dang. Hitler just, he said there can't be more Jews than there's Germans, and we're getting killed in this World War II, so I got to balance it out and make sure that Germans are still the majority, so I got to kill all these Jews to keep the ratios right. And that's not my thinking. That was on a documentary that Hitler's secretary said that's the reason why he killed so many Jews. Okay? And because of, bigotry and racism and whatever, xenophobia, if I could use that word, but anti-Semitism too, so they were treated badly, and so were the Native Americans. I mean, they just slaughtered them, and so were the Aborigines, especially the ones on in the island. I think the island next to is New Zealand. Is that it? Yes, New Zealand. And the Tasmanian devil, that type of thing. Oh my God, these are horrible, horrific, terrible things. The Armenians and just so many, the Irish and just so many things. But the difference between the African Americans or the Africans in slavery was this lasted from 1619 all the way to 1865, and we've learned about Juneteenth, which ended slavery, which means the last slave, the last town in which they were informed by the Union soldiers that they were free. So at the time of when it got to Galveston, Texas, on June 19th, 1865, that's when, which is 2.5 years after the executive order of the Emancipation Proclamation was signed by President Abraham Lincoln, they finally got the Union soldiers, because we didn't have TV, we didn't have, and in Texas, they were like, no, we want to keep our slaves. And no, they had to send in the cavalry and go, no, you can't. Okay, now you got to pay them. If you want them to work, you got to pay them. But the difference is we had generation after generation after generation after generation that were enslaved, and we got taken away from our homeland, and we got picked up as Africans, and we have a rich history before that, picked up as Africans, captured, held in cages for 6 months to a year or however long, ready for the next ship to come in. Then we had the Middle Passages, where half, there's thought to be, 20 million bones of 20 million Africans in the Atlantic Ocean at the bottom, because the Middle Passages was a sick thing. And then when you got here, oh my God, you couldn't speak your language. They split us up so that we weren't talking to anyone that had the same language that we did. And we were sold, and we were raped, and we were pillaged, and it was not against the law to kill us. It was not against the law to rape us. It was not against the law to take people from their children and their families. It wasn't against the law to chop off your hands or your arms or anything like that. It's just horrible. And imagine pedophiles at that time. I'm just saying. Okay? Because if they exist today, they damn sure existed back then. Okay? So, and the psychological torment to where you, to me, are nothing but a cow. You are just a workhorse. You're a part of my farm, my plantation. That's what you are. And you have no rights whatsoever. A black person has no rights that a white person must respect. So it's that type of black inferiority thing that makes us a little different, because psychologically we have black inferiority complexes as well as white supremacy complexes. And that's what this whole Black Lives Matter is about. And more white people, or people of other races, are discovering, like, dang, they ain't making this up. And why aren't we getting better? We're the sickest, we're the less educated, we're the poorest, we're, god dang, somebody needs to check these statistics too. I think there should be a statistic, branch of the government that really checks statistics, because we're depending on the Census Bureau to tell us this. But when it comes to black people, maybe, but anyway, we're supposed to be just so messed up, that we mean so little that a white cop can kill us with cameras, people around him, and put his hands in his pocket. And then when you stop moving and breathing, I'm going to make sure you dead because I can do that. Trevor Noah, he's a comedian. He does a show on Comedy Central. And he had, and he's comes from South Africa, apartheid, horrible. And I want to talk about the Native Americans who were slaughtered, but they had slaves too. Native Americans had slaves too. I'm just saying, okay? Black slaves, African slaves, okay? But I'm just saying, but I ain't gonna go that deep. But Trevor Noah, he said that if you take the parallel lives of Derek Chauvin and George Floyd, okay? George Floyd got caught for doing the things that he did. He got caught, and he got punished, and he spent time in jail, okay? Derek Chauvin had 18 different complaints about him. 18. While he was a police officer. 18 in 19 years. So 18 years, almost one for every year, a big written complaint. He got away with all that. He got away with it because he's white, and he got away with it. We don't get away with it. Could you imagine if put President Trump, make him black? Okay, make him black. You think he would get away with Michelle having naked pictures of her on the internet? Do you think he would get away with 3 wives and 3 baby mamas? Do you think he would get away with bankruptcies? Okay, being sued and being found guilty of fraud with his Trump University? Do you think Barack Obama would ever have gotten elected if he said he was on camera, he was going to grab a woman by the pussy? Huh? Do you think for 1 second that a black man would have got elected president behaving the way that Trump has, making fun of handicapped people? Absolutely not. Barack and Michelle are stellar human beings. Okay? People had a fit because he wore a tan suit. That's how little, no drama Obama was. Or he didn't wear the American flag on his lapel. Or he wasn't, because he's African, so he's not a real American. Because his daddy was African. Well, his mama was white, and his mama gave birth to him in Hawaii, which is an American state. And when he was running against John McCain, who was born in Panama. Okay? Military. But he wasn't born here. Barack was, but it was military, so he was still an American citizen. But he didn't get, John McCain, even though I like John McCain, don't get me wrong, I thought he was a fair Republican, and I think the Republican Party would be a lot different right now if John McCain was still alive. Okay? But he wasn't born here, but didn't mention that. No way. Okay? So I'm just saying, there's different rules for white people than there are for black people. I'm going to say one more thing. Bernie Madoff. Let's talk about Bernie Madoff just for a second, because I think about him a lot. Ponzi King, okay? He's Jewish, and he stole billions of dollars from his Jewish people. And some other people too, if he let you invest for him. And the reason why he got away with it for so many years and did the Ponzi scheme for so many years was because he was white and he was given the benefit of the doubt. There is no way that a black man or a black woman could ever get away with something like that. So these are the psychological things that we're elevating what is racist. Okay? So I think that when I was first doing commentary on KBC Talk Radio, and a lot of racist people will call black people who talk about racism racist. Like people call me racist. I'm not racist. Are you kidding? I'm discussing racism to get rid of racism so we can have more equality. And sometimes you got to say things that are uncomfortable. As long as you have the truth and you got the data to back it up. And that's what I specialize in. And you guys that know me, You guys that know me know that just like in the Michael Jackson world, when I do my documentaries, I got receipts of the yin yang. Of the yin yang, I got receipts. For what I say, what I do, and if I don't have it, I have something to substantiate it. Okay? Or you just got to take my word for it, because I have receipts for everything else. So you know if I tell you something that I'm telling the truth, because I show you so much proof. Okay? So with that, I'm not sure how long I'm going to continue to be a Michael Jacksonologist. I'm not sure I'm living up to my potential, because that's what I was doing before God's deterred me without a moment's notice, detoured me out of that. And I was on so many radio stations. I was a regular on KBC Talk Radio. I was, lecturing at colleges and universities, okay, about racism. And I was having a career. And then God said, no, you need to go help this brother right here. And that brother is Michael. You need to go help him. I think you're the one. Okay, because out of everybody in the whole wide world that knew about that 2005 trial, it was me and Cecil who did the documentary. I'm just saying. That's a fact. It's a fact. Nobody else did that. And sometimes when I see that other people are getting like props and I'm like being, pushed to the side, it hurts my feelings. Aphrodite Jones, she was anti-Michael during the trial. And I came out with it. She called me. And she said, you want to meet for lunch? I think I've changed my mind. I want to talk to you about it. And me and Aphrodite, I met her. We went to lunch. We talked. I like Aphrodite Jones. I was on her I was on her TV show too. Okay? I'm the one that gave her the courage, which she puts in her book, to write the book. So I'm making moves, helping Michael. I'm making all kinds of moves because I felt like God wanted me there. God wanted me to be there for Michael because I didn't plan it. I had my True Talk TV show on, and I got credentialed because of my True Talk TV show. Who knew? I didn't. It wasn't planned. And I went down there and Cecil and I got credentialed. So here I am, 15 and a half years, over 15 years later, still here. Still in the Michael world. Okay? But I'm not sure where I got to do some soul searching, guys, And just as all white people weren't bad during slavery, all white people aren't bad still now. Okay? So I still feel like, is it still the Confederates versus the Union? Still that same ratio? I wonder about that sometimes. Okay? But anyway, I love you guys. Yes, everybody should be treated equally. That's right. I call myself an equality activist. I think I even said that what I was in my book, The Climate, A Perspective Unvisited, which came out in 2001. My first book I ever wrote. I keep finding like little errors, that I did back then, and I probably need to do some more errors. Oh, I love these earrings, $5. I bought them at last year's Honor Thy Father ceremony, which was in person. False alarm prayer, I think it is a lampshade or something above the door behind you. Oh yeah, that's just a lamp. I needed more light in here, so I had to take the shade off. Okay. Let's see. Pearl Jr., happy Father's Day to Cecil. Let's see if I have any questions here. I do talk about the Native Americans. I really do talk about the Native Americans. And we were supposed to be, half, my mother is lighter than me, bless your heart. We love you and miss you, Mom. My dad's still alive. And my dad's DNA came back. He has no Native American either, and neither do I. So that means my mother, we don't have Blackfoot either, but we were told we did. And I think that's a lot of black people were told that they were Native American. But if you do the DNA test, 9 times out of 10 we're not, but since natives, because they separated Native Americans and Africans, they separated us because they didn't want us to team together and overtake the white power structure. So there were laws that prevented Native Americans and Africans, enslaved people, from intermingling. But it came a time where people like, what's his name that's in, oh God, he's a black actor. He's in one of the, he's really good. Oh my goodness. He did a DNA test. And I think he's not in X-Men. He's in the Marvel. He's, no. He took over Terrence Howard's character. Don Cheadle, okay? Don Cheadle did a DNA test with Mr. Gates, Dr. Gates, and he did one with Oprah and some other people too, but he did one with Don Cheadle. And Don Cheadle had some Native Americans, but when they went back and they looked through his lineage, his family was owned by Native Americans. And he was like, oh my God, I don't know quite how to feel that way. And not to say that it was abundant, but I got to go back and revisit and study that history. I had no idea, but the Native Americans were treated badly. Of course, the Trail of Tears, I cried when I wrote that chapter in the book with the Trail of Tears. And I posted my 2 pages of my book, The Climate, where I talk about the Tulsa riots and what happened. You may read that, and a chunk of the story isn't being told on TV, and why? See, but I wrote this back in 2001, and you guys can, verify, my work, and I mentioned several riots, but not just in Greenwood, which is in Tulsa County, Oklahoma, which was horrible. They don't even know how many people were really killed at that time. But I write about a lot of things. People want to talk to me about the secret societies. Of course, I have the Bilderberg Commission. I have Skull and Bones. I have the Council on Foreign Affairs. I have the New World Order. I have the Illuminati. I have all those written in my book, The Climate. One person told me, oh, you're too busy studying Peter Michael Bobby that you don't know these things. You're not in my shoes. You can never tell me what I know and what I don't know. I keep the news on all day. I even switch to Fox News every now and then, right? Just to get a different perspective, to make sure that I'm not just in a cubbyhole of MSNBC and CNN, that I'll put it on Fox News. I used to watch Fox News all the time. I don't anymore, but I do flick it on and see if I can stand Tucker Carlson for a while, or Laura Ingraham, or Sean Hannity. Ooh, he's the worst. But I do, because I do want to make sure I have a balanced perspective on things. So anyway, guys, all of anybody is not good, and all of any group is not bad. All of anything. We all, Hitler loved dogs. He was good to Ava Braun. Okay. So, but he sure did murder a whole bunch of people that didn't deserve it and treated them badly, and it's just a horrible. I call Cecil the Hitler King, because we watch a lot of documentaries on the Jewish Holocaust. We watch that stuff. We love documentaries. We love learning. We love history. We love information. So, and so much of my brain is filled with Michael Jackson right now. Michael has a big chunk of my brain. And Michael's an inspiration. And that's why Michael is so important, because he's an inspiration. He's a human being, and he's still alive. He faked his death to escape the haters. He had haters. People hated him for being successful. Okay? And then they found that, when Michael first started hanging around boys, he probably thought, oh, nobody will be jealous of that. And Michael's loved babies since he was a kid. I think I posted a link of Michael, and Joe says Michael loves babies. He's loved little babies since he was a child. God doggone it, his mother and father had almost a dozen kids. You know, they didn't get, they were Jehovah's Witness, so they didn't get presents. So when Catherine brought home a baby, Lord, that was a gift. You see? So it's you know, anyway, Michael, I love you, honey. And we are going to put out a live 4. And, Austin came out with a song. Austin Brown, Reeby's son. Oh, I really like that song. You know, it's really good. I scroll down my, YouTube channel. Not YouTube, my, Facebook channel. And, listen to, Austin's song. It's a super good song. I really like it. I've already worked out to it. I've incorporated it to my little workout, my 57-year-old workout. Okay. But anyway, guys, I love you guys, and a live 4 will be released. I'm going to show you guys this. It will be released on the 11th anniversary of the death hoax. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Peter, Michael, Bobby, for this. Thank you. Watch it one more time. And visit Michael Jackson Insider. We did update the website. We updated the website. Okay, so happy Father's Day to everyone out there. And I love you guys, and Black Lives Matter, because all lives don't matter until Black Lives Matter. All right, so I will talk to you guys soon. And oh my God, I have to do this. Sylvia, oh Sylvia, my buddy, my pal, Sylvia, you gotta stop sending me stuff. Really, you gotta stop sending me stuff. I mean, my goodness. Okay, guys, let me show you what Sylvia sent me. I'm in my other room. Okay, let me show you guys what Sylvia sent me. She is such a doll. She is so sweet, and Ruby thanks her for the gift she sent Ruby. But let me show you guys what Sylvia sent me. Oh, thank God, I remembered. A Black Lives Matter T-shirt. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sylvia. That's very sweet of her. Very sweet of her. So Cecil's back from his walk. So we're going to start again, you know, trying to perfect a live 4 Michael Jackson, The Missing Pieces. So make sure you go on our website. You go on our website, michaeljacksoninsider.com. And this might be a new beginning for me too. All right, guys, love you. And I will see you next time.